Life can be tough here on Planet Nerd. It's the mean streets. Cops everywhere. Sometimes the only weapon you got is these four wheels. This pump and stereo, and a sonic screwdriver. Maybe a fake lightsaber. But no man walks alone. Sometimes he needs help. Hey man.
Hey, how you doing?
Not bad, how was your night?
Oh, crazy. Killed a guy.
Yeah?
No.
We're gonna do this?
Yeah, let's do this.
Hi, I'm Rob Lloyd and welcome to my DVD review. This week I'm going to focus on a silent movie star of the 1920s. No, I'm not going to focus on Charlie Chaplin. No, I'm not going to focus on Buster Keaton. I'm going to focus on Harold Lloyd, or as he's referred to, the third genius of the 1920s silent era. Everybody remembers Charlie Chaplin, the iconic image of him as the tramp. Most people remember Buster Keaton, the man with the stone face and the physicality of a gymnast. Nobody remembers the everyman character, the glasses character, created by Harold Lloyd. His characterization was unique for that time because unlike the big, over-the-top characters, he created the boy next door, someone who could just blend into the crowd. But the situations he was thrown into caused comedy gold. The best one of these being Safety Last, one of his first and greatest films. This DVD compilation, over 4 discs, unfortunately can only be found on Amazon or through American distributors because it isn't released here yet. But it is a must for anyone who has any interest in comedy, film, or just being inspired. Check it out. Out of 7 Samurai, I give it 7 Samurai. Harold Lloyd, remember him. Rock the Casbah.
The Weekly Weeder.
Yeah, right, okay, hi. Okay, let's do witches. Yeah, famous witches of the Buffyverse. Okay, Willow, there's Amy, Tara, Hermione, Ginny, Cho Chang, Tonks, Loopy Luna.
You're losing it, man. Get a grip.
July 21st. It's Deathly Hallows.
You have to get some sleep. You're not going to make it like this.
It's July 21st.
Look, just put the book down.
No! Jelly Legs Jinx!
Should have seen this coming.
Where you want to go, big guy?
How about French Island?
There's no bridge to French Island.
Yeah, well, I don't know, we could transform the car into a boat or something.
There's no such thing as Transformers.
As far as you know.
You're a child.
Yeah, and you're a whore.
Morning, sunshine.
Good morning.
You happen to be holding a microphone.
I am.
That's interesting.
A microphone and a cup of joe.
No, nothing like that in the morning.
Yeah. So, how was Transformers?
I reluctantly admit that it was very good.
Fuck off.
Yeah, it was a very good movie.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I came out of there wanting to hate it, but no, I really enjoyed it.
Hey, so I'm kind of surprised that they managed to make Transformers work on screen, like as a live-action film. It was pretty sort of out there. It's pretty fantastical as a concept.
Yeah, well, they were pretty, thorough in explaining away all those inconsistencies, so, we as viewers didn't really have a problem with the fact that robots were running around the city.
So I know a lot of people have a problem with Michael Bay himself, like they reckon his movies are unrealistic.
No, they are unrealistic. They're just, they're not easy to swallow, so...
But, Lord of the Rings is not realistic and people love that film.
Yeah, but Lord of the Rings isn't set in the real world. It's not set in a real world that we can relate to. Because things like that would never, ever happen in the real world. Oh, that's not right.
So the transformations, everyone wants to know, do you get to see them transform? Is it sort of hidden? Is it...
No, you get to see them, but it doesn't happen for at least a half hour. So the audience is waiting and waiting, and when it finally does happen... Excuse me.
It's kind of scary.
So, drama, pathos, acting,
Oh, they're all there, but they're just there to serve the cause of giant robots rampaging on screen, basically.
So, as a film, you would give this...
3 stars.
And as a Transformers film?
4.5 stars.
See, Transformers are real.
No, they're not.
And what about robo games?
They didn't transform, they just cut each other in half.
So they kind of transformed into robots that didn't work anymore. That's a transformation.
Yeah, real effective. Hey, look out, Decepticons. I'm going to transform from a working robot into a broken robot. Then you'll be sorry.
I fucking hate you.
I hate you too. We're here at the Fort Mason Center in San Francisco. The reason why we're here is Robo Games. This is the 4th annual robotic games competition, and there's over 70 events with many different classes of robots and competitors from all over the world. It's been featured on ESPN's top picks of the best sporting events of the year. When robots come to kill us, we can blame these people. The event runs for 3 days and features some of the most amazing technology you're likely to see. This is the cutting edge of robotics and the cutting edge of nerds.
We're getting about 3,000 people a day coming through here. And that does not count the contestants or the teams. We've got 850 individual contestants that have registered just for this event. We have a couple of teams here that are complete families that fight together, from the littlest kids up to dad. There's one team here, the kid's like 8 years old, and he's here with his grandfather competing. It was so sweet. We have university teams, those are very popular. Some of the most intense competitors we've seen are here for the soccer events.
In fact, some of the most challenging events at Robo Games involve soccer. While the big fighting robots are basically remote-controlled cars with weapons, soccer robots are usually autonomous, meaning they rely on artificial intelligence and a whole lot of sensors to find the ball and kick it in the right direction. Because these robots are so finely tuned to their environment, seemingly tiny changes can completely incapacitate them. This year, the shade of green of the pitch is slightly closer to the green of the ball than it was last year, and tragically, many robots can't tell the difference, and just stand there looking around pathetically until their creators take them away. Challenges like these are exactly why Robo Games has been so effective at advancing the state of the art of robotics. Now, that may be why the robot builders come here, but that's not why the general public comes here. They want to see BattleBots sawing each other in half, and in the main arena, that's exactly what they get.
Our team name is CM Robotics. There's 4 of us here today. We have 2 robots. This is Ziggy. The other one's called Texas Heat. This one has won both matches. This one hasn't competed yet.
And so what are the various weapons and tricks that you've used on your robots to do so well?
Sure. So actually what's funny is the most important one is the simplest one. It's just a wedge. And for the most part, whoever's able to get under the other guy most often can control the match. Good driving, and then beyond that, then you get into the weapons, right? So we have a flipper weapon here. We got a flamethrower on the other one.
And what drove you to be here today?
All right, sure. So originally I saw it on TV. I thought, hey, I can do that. So that was about 5 or 6 years ago, and we've been doing it ever since.
That's good. The judges determined 18-15 decision.
What are you in charge of here today?
I'm running the 150-gram robots, the 1-pound robots, and the 3-pound robots.
Cool. And so what are the restrictions, what are the rules for robots to be able to enter apart from the weight?
Really, basically it's all, you just got to be within a weight limit, and there's no size restrictions, and it's basically anything goes.
Cool. And are the robots remote controlled, or are they artificially intelligent, or what's the go?
There's actually 2 classes. There's the RC class, and then there's autonomous, which is basically you turn your robot on and it does its own thing that's pre-programmed to basically find the other robot and fight.
Cool. So what's the kind of weapons that you see on these things for them to destroy the other robots?
Some of the crowd favorites would be the flamethrowers. They go crazy over it. I mean, it doesn't do much damage, but the crowd loves them. And then the spinners, of course, basically you get hit by the right spinner and it'll just destroy a robot in a single hit. And it can knock them, I've seen up to the arena ceiling a number of times.
Wow, so they've like actually thrown the robot up to the roof and down again?
I've seen them bounce up, down, and back up again.
Like, are there any robots that are in there basically not to win it, but just to be like the Harlem Globetrotters of robots?
Yeah, definitely. We get all sorts of them out there. Like one of the great ones, a guy built a flamethrower bot out of balsa wood, which is just, you know, ironic because you got a flamethrower made out of wood, and he'd constantly catch on fire himself. But everyone loved them. And then also we have a crowd favorite called the cardboard box, and it's basically just a simple cardboard box with a couple servos for drive, and the crowd always roots for the underdog, and so they go for that one.
But not all the robots come here to fight. There are a few celebrity robots here to make contacts and, just maybe, break into Hollywood.
I'm a project supervisor for M5 Industries, the home of the Mythbusters.
Cool. And so what does M5 Industries do?
We produce props, animatronic puppets, RC puppets, cable puppets for mainly for commercials. We've got a project here of Fawn Davis, Morav, currently in development. M5 projects over here. We have Weibo from Flubber, done quite a while ago. And here's another project, just purely self-promotion and for fun. We're going to attempt to set the world record, Guinness Book of World Records, the longest distance jumped by a robot-controlled motorcycle.
Now, is this the only distance that's ever been jumped by a robot motorcycle?
I cannot answer that question at this time. No, yeah, if we jump a foot, we're going to set the record. And that's actually the whole point. It's for me, at M5, I was interested in the storytelling and the puppets, and I really didn't care how many servos were in it. And now a lot of that is gone because of CG, all the computer-generated imagery. So this is more about the gag and the story and the attempt itself, sort of humanizing it in a guy sense, I guess.
So, that was Robo Games, and now as San Francisco's famous fog rolls in, so too does the fog over our future as rulers of the planet, because, as I've seen today, these guys are scary.
Hands up! I'm only gonna say this once. I want a white piece of mint-flavoured confectionery with red and green writing on the label. Soft enough to melt in your pocket, yet hard enough to take out a filling.
I don't have anything like that.
Ah.
The Weekly Weeder.
I've got you now, Barber. Magnoliosa! Magnoliosa? That's all I could think of.
Hey Dan, I need your advice on something relationship related.
I don't know if that's a good idea, Paul. I'm actually autistic.
Yeah, well, who isn't? Look, I'm seeing a girl and I don't know how to tell whether she is in love with me or not.
Well, there's several ways you could find out, but I guess what I would do is just get her upholstered and then nail her to the roof.
Yeah, you're right. I really shouldn't have asked you about that.
You really shouldn't have asked.
Recently, a few of us from the ministry, Pastor Buck, Pastor Use-By Date, Walmsley and myself, were settling in for our usual meeting at the local to what looked like a long afternoon of spiritual enlightenment. That's when it happened.
Everyone right for a beer?
No, not for me, Pastor. I have to get home and get dinner on.
Is the missus crook, mate?
No, it's my turn to cook. Sarah and I decided that we'd share the domestic duties.
You mean she's decided?
No, not at all. We talked about it, and as Sarah works full-time, it's only fair and logical.
Fair and logical? Logic's got nothing to do with it, mate. As soon as you bow to logic from the missus, you're putting yourself in an instant disadvantage.
Instant disadvantage? What are you guys talking about?
Take pretty much any married couple who are having a bit of a barney, and just say the husband is able to present the most structured and logical argument in the history of the world. What happens? Does she bow to the logic? No. She either dredges up something totally unrelated from the past, or she storms off shrieking, "There's just no point in talking with you." Either way, the bloke's spending the night on the couch.
Okay, so what's a bloke supposed to do when she makes a valid point? Burst into tears like the losing St George Grand Final side?
You agree in principle, then find another way around it.
But if you're always agreeing, how do you win an argument?
What are you talking about, lad? Arguing with the missus is like doing reverse pike into a sewage pond. No matter how graceful the dive, you still end up in the shit. The only way to win an argument is to avoid them in the first place.
That afternoon was spent enlightening young Walmsley to the ways of married life. The following is a brief overview of this imparted wisdom. But firstly, it's important to note that we at the ministry hate generalisations, be it of race, religion, or in this case gender. It is a dangerous and often inaccurate practice. The Ministry of Cynical Supposition loves women and acknowledges their independence and individuality, but the following tips will be relevant to a significant percentage of women, just as a significant percentage of women have ignored the opening advice and are still watching this video. Archers. Okay, the boys are planning a weekend away of fishing, golf and drinking, and you want to go. What's the best way of obtaining a leave pass? Plead your case and hope the wife says yes? Tell your woman you're going, whether she likes it or not? Nah, it's none of the above. We've found the best option is to appeal to the strong competitive nature instinctive to most females when dealing with other females. Geez, I feel sorry for that poor old Jono. Why is that? His missus. I don't know. He's a good bloke. He works his guts out like the rest of us. And his missus won't give him a break. You know, he was thinking of heading down the coast with the boys to see if he can catch a few fish this weekend, and she's forbidden him to go. Can you believe that? Everyone thinks he's a real bitch. Yeah, she always struck me as a bit strange, that one. Yeah, poor bastard. Oh. So, you got no dramas of me going, have you? Okay, just say the wife's a pretty ordinary cook. Does that mean you then take over the culinary duties? No. With encouragement and subtle direction, she will improve in time. Take my missus for an example. When I first met her, the sign of a good meal was being able to digest it for long enough to make it unrecognisable when it was later regurgitated. But with tactful encouragement, over the past 16 years, I've been able to cut my antacid bill in half. Uh-oh, I appear to be having an allergic reaction to this. This is nice. Too bad I'm not that hungry though. I'll take the rest to work with me tomorrow. This is lovely, dear. Wow, sweetheart, this is fantastic. Any of the above options works heaps better than saying, Jesus, woman, this tastes like shit. Another important thing to remember about marriage is...
Who are you talking to?
Just making another video to post on YouTube, dear.
What's it about? You wanker. I'm married to a wanker.
Bless her.
Hey, dickhead, regurgitate this.
This is lovely, dear.
We're here. We're gonna do this?
Alright, let's do it.
Check. And that's Planet Nerd for this week.
Whee!